Hi everyone, and welcome to BHS300 Digital Selves. I'm Francesca Collins. Many of you will already know me from your time in behavioural studies. There are a few of you who haven't done behavioural studies before, so the whole thing's going to be very new to you. I'm sure the other students will help you out, and likewise we hope that you can bring to us some interesting tidbits from the world outside of behavioural studies. So the students that are taking this unit this semester, well, they're mainly from arts and they're mainly from behavioural studies, but we've also got some IT students, business students and science students. So we've got quite an interesting mix, and an interesting mix of people in terms of their skills and expertise in computing and in virtual worlds more generally. So in real life, I'm Francesca Collins. In second life, I'm Curiosa Paravane, who we may have bumped into each other in world already. If you want to know a little bit about Curiosa, there's a reflection written by her, me, it's hard to say who's who in these sorts of discussions, in the Avatar Reflections folder of the discussion board, so you can pop in there and have a look. It also might give you a little bit of a guide as to how you're going to write your own reflection. As we go through the next few weeks, you'll have more of a sense of what and who your avatar is and what they mean to you. So your reflection will develop definitely over the next few weeks. Don't feel you need to write about it right away, because for most of you this will be your first entree into Second Life. Some of you will have spent some time in there, and I guess we'll find out who you are and what you've been up to in world at our first tute tomorrow, Wednesday the 22nd of July at 2 o'clock Australian Eastern Standard Time. So, to my left you'll see Sika Esparzo, who will also be lecturing in this unit. So I'm coordinating and lecturing Sika in real life, Debbie McCormick. Sika will be providing lectures in the area of communications, which is her area of expertise in virtual worlds. So once I've finished yakking on, you can click on her and see what she has to say to introduce herself. You'll get to know both of us quite well, I'm sure, throughout the semester. In terms of today, there's a bit of housekeeping to get through, which we'll go through the rest of this presentation, the actual PowerPoint presentation. As you go through the slides, you'll hear me talking some more, you lucky devils, and there'll be some more things to click on, so little sort of outings or adventures, if you like to go on. So we'll have a lot of housekeeping and a bit of content where we start talking and thinking about what and who your digital self actually is. As I say, for many of you this will be your first venture into this sort of madness, and some of you will be quite at home with it and have a real sense of who you are in world. But this is going to be the adventurous part for the first few weeks. So today we're just looking at presentations of self, the way we present ourselves in the real world and digitally. Next week we'll be looking at who and what people are when they're presented in world. Things are never, or very rarely as they seem, in digital environments. In terms of the gender, the ethnicity, all sorts of features of the person who you think you're talking to can be very well concealed by the nature of the virtual environment. So we'll get into more of that later. In the third week, we'll be looking at the notion of presence, which is a sense of really being there in a virtual environment. And again, it's something that takes a few weeks to sink in, so I won't go into it now. By the time we get to week 3, hopefully you guys will be experiencing some sense of presence. Okay, in terms of contacting me, I'm available for consult via email, text chat in the chat room on the Blackboard site, or via video chat using webcams similar to this. Now, for those of you who haven't quite set up all your equipment yet, there's by no means is it necessary for you to have a nice webcam and a headphone with a microphone attached to it, although these things could come in really handy, and you might find as you go and as your interests develop, you might want to use these as part of your assignment. So keep that in mind. You don't need to spend a lot of money. You can always get things secondhand on eBay or through the Monash marketplace. If you go through the My Monash portal, you'll be able to access the marketplace. There are always bargains in there, so check it out. So I'm available, as I say, for consults pretty much digitally. chances are we won't meet in real life at all, except maybe queuing up for coffee or somewhere on campus. But the idea is that all of this happens in world or online in some fashion. Now, some of you will already be using Skype as a way of making phone calls or instant messaging or chatting or having video conversations with people. It's a free service. If you haven't already checked it out, check it out. I'll put a link on the Blackboard site so that you can go straight there and install it straight onto your computer. Super handy, much cheaper than a mobile phone and cheaper than a home phone, and I really recommend it. Okay, what else do we need to do? I've written some notes here, but I can't see them, so excuse me while I put them up close to me. I think I'm done. Okay, so let's get on with things. As I say, pop next door and say hello to Sika. She'll introduce herself and let you know what she's up to. And we'll work through the rest of this presentation, and there'll be an audio narration for your listening pleasure. Welcome again, and I'll see you in World very soon.